leading the purchases. Canada did announce that they're joining in on that. So appreciate our friends to the north there. Now, here's the interesting twist that I think is going to be obviously very pivotal. So Trump gave Putin a 50-day deadline to pursue peace before stronger sanctions kick in, which would include tariffs and secondary sanctions targeting Russia's supporters. Whew. I mean, this is a big picture move that Trump's playing right now. There's a lot to go, a long way to go, a lot to discuss, a lot of contingencies, a lot of issues to maneuver through. But this is a really, 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 really good direction we're going. Really good trend. So the goal here, now check this out. The goal here is to three fronts: drain Putin's war machine. Okay, well, this will definitely do it. Let him send all the rockets you want. You got a good missile defense system, Patriot missile defense system, all these things. Okay, whatever. So drain Putin's war machine. Next, boost the American industry. What have we been doing the last 6 months? What has President Trump been really, really focusing on? Bringing jobs back to America, but not just any jobs. We'll take any of them, okay? At least most of them, but manufacturing jobs, industry jobs. We're building things again. This is all going to feed into strength globally, especially on the foreign diplomatic scale. I mean, look at this. So boost American industry. Wean us off of depending on countries like Russia for certain things, for certain goods, commerce. Third, bring NATO back to strength. You can't bring NATO back to strength if the United States is paying for everything. You can't bring NATO back to strength if the United States is really the only enforcer that it has. The only guy with a big stick that's willing to use it, the United States. You can't build back that coalition of countries to a level of strength if we're the only ones doing it. So I think this is really good. And I'll say, this is how you lead the free world without selling out your country. That's what this looks like. I mean, look at what we're talking about. Let's just go to those three goals. First of all, that should have never been a conflict. I don't think I'm pretty confident Russia does not invade Ukraine if Trump is the president. I think we can all agree with that. I think reasonable minds can conclude that. I think it's a fair conclusion. I mean, we had Disneyland in the office in the White House dealing with these evil dictators. I mean, I don't know. Either they didn't know what was going on or they did, and both are wrong.
They knew.
I mean, come on.
Oh, now.
Yeah. Exactly. All right. Too long, NATO paying Europe's bills while they gave speeches and ducked responsibility. I ain't wrong. Trump comes in, first term, at least changes the dialogue, at least changes the conversation. But he's changed that process too. He made them pay up. Now we're seeing it though. Billions flowing into American defense jobs and production. That's good. Europe finally carrying their own weight. For this to be a free and willing coalition of nations to secure North America, the North Atlantic.
Sound like George Bush.
Yeah.
Coalition of the willing.
Coalition of the willing.
Strategic.
But if it's going to be all that, they got to carry their own weight too, at least a little. Trump wasn't even saying carry all your weight. Just pitch in a little bit. That was the UN. Just pitch in a little bit.
Well, with NATO, he was like, pay your fair share.
NATO was that, yeah.
And that's not unreasonable. Why do we always have to foot the bill for everything?
Always.
And this is why our debt, seriously, we're protecting the entire world, you could say. We're paying for the protection of the entire world. Mm-hmm. We should be indebted to no one.
Exactly. And look, if we have time later today, we'll talk about some vote that the Senate is going to vote on. We may go to that next. I don't know. But we're talking about foreign aid cuts and things like that. What is it with the elites? There must be something in the water. in Washington. It has to be. The Democrat Party is all in with it, but you have enough Republicans in to cause trouble. The common sense train just leaves the station and leaves those guys at the station. I don't know. I don't understand it. Why in the hell do those folks in Washington, those guys, the Democrats and the Rhinos, why do you have an innate need to help everyone else with our tax dollars except the American people? Why is it so? We're in more than $36 trillion in debt, but we want to die on the hill for U.S. aid. I just don't. We don't want to. We don't. We want to go study menstrual cycles of transgender men in North Africa, but we don't want to help veterans, and we don't want to reduce spending. Those DOGE cuts that the Senate is debating is minimal. That should tell you all you need to know about every Republican fighting that. All right, guys, we're going into a little break.
Well, we're trying to keep talking. This
happy to.
Frozen up on me.
Happy to. The folks are going to benefit. No, but really, what this conversation we're having, for everyone listening, you've probably had that conversation. We can send all this money to other countries and we can't fix a road. Fair question. Fair question. How are we at more than $36 trillion in debt and we're even thinking about sending money to other countries? I get that goodwill costs money. I understand that. I do. And there is something to be said. There's a reason why U.S. aid is under the State Department. I get it. You got to have some. We are a superpower. We do have a duty, all those things. But that duty to the rest of the world comes way after that duty to our country. You see? We know that. We know that. We also know that NATO, again, was just us, Uncle Sugar, the United States, old Yankee Doodle, paying Europe's bills while they want to go snub their nose at everybody else and just know that we're going to bail them out. There was one reason why the Soviets stayed in Eastern Germany, and it wasn't because of Europe. It's because of us, and that's okay. We're allies, and that's cool. We're good. No problem. But you got to do your part too. You got to pay for at least your share. Just your share, not anybody else's share. We've been paying your share. You pay your share. That's all we're saying. Trump comes in, changes that. We like that. We like that. Now, this 50-day deadline to Putin, I thought that was, it's pretty clear, but it's a hard line that needed to happen 5 years ago. There's no reason. We're sitting here in 2025. We're sitting here in the year 2025. When did Mr. Associate Producer, when did Russia invade Ukraine? 2022 ish? 2021? Whatever. 3 or 4 years. I mean, this line should have been taken 5 years ago before it started. It's fake diplomacy. It's fake diplomacy. But 50-day deadline to Putin, very clear. And it's a warning. Hey, Mr. Putin, cut the war or watch your economy get crushed. And if China or Iran are watching too, great. They should be. This is a model. Look at what the difference in our model is. We're fighting foreign wars. We're fighting, but we're fighting from afar and we're fighting effectively with the tools that we have. And those tools are not always beans and bullets. Those tools are not always armored personnel carriers with United States soldiers in them. None of that. It doesn't have to be. So China, Iran, please be watching. And America, I know Trump's got it. I really do. Republicans that are in charge right now, we're not guaranteed after the midterm. We're not guaranteed. Please support this. This is how you win with strength. This is how what you need me to do? Oh, okay. Technical difficulties. This is how you win a war without sending our precious resource, our most precious resource, human resource. But we're not the world's ATM anymore. We're not the world's ATM. This is leverage. It's strategy. And it's working. Look at what we got going on. All right, guys, stick around. We'll be right back. We'll continue this discussion and so much more. Don't go anywhere. Show, broadcasting live from the right here in Acadia. Bill and Abear, hometown lawyers. You got a question? Give those guys a call.
Do it.
Yep. Alrighty. Let's continue this topic, shall we?
Let's do it.
So, go. All things. Check this out. Y'all that we'll send you all the new. It's not even NATO live.
They
all right. We'll defend you. Yeah, exactly. But our interest of Ukraine or Trump is. I think if he had to choose, would you say now get to what it was and be done with it? But people probably would say that. Even Biden would probably say that. He's just not a vent. He said, I'm never committed to it. And I just got some time for every time I let him. He really pulls this off. Russian should have been. Just Ukraine and look at the two continents. Israel and Iran. I mean, the guy that they the last one is he's going to war. This is what he do on the planet. Stop World War III. And that my job of people get. But he knows what he's doing. When he's actually, and I'm sorry to my and I'm sorry to not necessarily left. You know, it's more hugging and more. Oh, that's very good.
You're going to follow. Not believe the power in it.
But you know, I get hurt your ears. Just you know, kind of up down. The rest of the and that's okay. We're the world. Well, rotate in the Middle East, right on the East. Don't care about your little pray review. Who's a little more charismatic and then major diggers. Or with the West,
or the idol of
that's what it's yes. That's a new way to break. Yes. to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the Bill and A Bear Studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. Your hometown lawyers. Give those guys a call. Bill and A Bear. Can't go wrong with them, I'm telling you. All right, let's move on, shall we? By the way, the phone lines are wide open. 232-1542, 232-1542. Also, you can see on roll right here, 844-766-667. Give us a buzz if you're outside the Acadiana area. 84 number, and we can't wait to hear from you. Again, go to Rumble, and Rumble.com. Look up the Josh Guillory Show. Get us a little follow. We don't ask you emails, and it's a pretty good product. Okay, let's move on. So we're going to stay on the diplomacy part. We'll stay top. Excuse me. Let's talk about the EU a little bit. Same area of the world, different topics. So, because I'm digging the foreign diplomacy wins, digging the win for our country abroad. So this is another one. So the Associated Press, AP, is reporting the European Union has agreed to delay its retaliatory tariff on the U.S. Goods after President announced new 30% products from the EU and Mexico set to kick in August. August 1st, right around the corner. Now the EU says it's hitting pause for now, and their hope is to strike a good deal with President Trump in the United States before that deadline, that August 1st deadline. That is movement. When's the last time you've seen the European Union act that quick? When's the last time you've seen any European country act that quick? Especially when it relates to the United States. So let's go over the facts. Very important. Very important. Trump sends formal letters announcing 30% tariffs on EU and Mexican goods effective August 1st. Okay. The EU is planning to hit back. Remember that a few weeks ago with some countermeasures? They had to beef their chests saying, we're not going to get taken advantage of by this dude. Not us. No way. We're Europe. And that's what we do. Wait a minute. Do we? Let's look at the last 200 years. Let's look at the last 400 years. Anywho. So the EU is planning to come back with their countermeasures starting Monday, today, but decided to hold off until the end of the month to try to negotiate. Great. That's fantastic. EU Commission President Ursula von der Leyen said Trump's letter gives both sides a very narrow window to cut a deal. Europe's top exports to the U.S. include cars, like this. Look at all this. Cars, aircraft, pharmaceuticals. Very, 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 very interesting. So y'all ship us the pharmaceuticals over here. You charge about 30 times the same price for this, or 30 times the price for the same molecule. So it's a double lose for us. Italy's foreign minister is in Washington this week, leading EU side negotiations. That's their point man. That's their point man in Washington.
They still got that Georgia Maloney. Is that her name? Their prime minister.
Oh, I don't know.
The lady. I have to look that up.
The blonde lady?
Is she blonde?
Oh, maybe not. Maybe not.
Anyway.
Trump says he's rejected early drafts of the trade deal. He wants some stronger terms. The article didn't elaborate, but I'm loving the flexibility and I'm loving leadership. So the EU, they're also now scrambling to deepen ties with other nations. That's been a veiled threat for many, many, many years. Or
go for it.
Yeah, like really, like why haven't you already?
Ooh, China?
They're looking at Indonesia.
Okay, we mess with them too.
We do. Go look at the back of your shirts. A lot of them. They do. It's so funny. They'll go and talk all this noise and try to go around these little podunks, but they'll still admit
they're very nice countries.
I love them. I didn't call them S hole or whatever.
Thank goodness.
You'd have to press the button on me. But
speaking of buttons, where's Mr. Bobby been?
No, Mr. We got to send search and rescue in a search party. Who where's Mr. Bobby? Matter of fact, where's all our callers? Where's all our callers? 232-1542. That button's working. Let's go. 844-766-607. Phone line open. Okay. This is how you negotiate.
This is how you do it.
With leverage, not apologies. I mean, oh my goodness. Look, President Trump laid down the 30% tariff threat. Europe blinked. Okay. They're begging for talks. They've gone from chest puffing to hand wringing in 24 hours. This is like night and day. This is exactly what Trump means when he talks about reversing decades of being ripped off. We've seen that. We've lived it. What am I talking about? We lived it. The EU's been milking the U.S. with one-sided trade advantages for years. Now, all of a sudden, their gravy train has a deadline. It's called August 1st, 2025. Now, let's go to those phone lines. I can't see my monitor either. All right, let's see. Caller, you're live on the Josh Guillory Show. What's your name? Come.
That's Warren.
Hey, what's up, buddy? What you got? I can't see who's calling. Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, Josh, can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Got it.
They all drinking the same Kool-Aid.
Yeah.
They put mushrooms in that Kool-Aid because they want to take away everything. And they swindle us with this hospital system. If it was any good, I'm not in it. Let me just say for locally, you're not governor and all them. When you politicians use crook, I mean, you are a crook. People are getting tired of all this. This EU stuff going on. I'm glad Trump's laying down the law.
Yeah,
but people are really upset with this Epstein, and we want to know the truth. We're tired of being swindled by the Democrats, and boy, it's aggravating when the Republicans are doing it. So, it's time to stop this nonsense. People need to start real vocal and demanding better of our government. Thank you, John.
A+. I'm with you, Warren. I'm with you on that. I'm with him on that. Man, it's so true. Like, I was listening to Moon earlier. Joe was filling in the road, and he made that just basically what we said. He said it differently. Just do what you say you're going to do. I mean, you ran on all the man. He had a caller. Oh my gosh, he had a caller. Joe on Moon's show had a caller earlier today, and he said, "We gave Baton Rouge supermajority Republican leadership with conservative Republicans in office. They gave us Cleo Fields."
Cleo Fields and a very, very large insurance bill.
Yeah.
To boot.
Like, really, though, I heard that caller, and that was about my reaction when I was driving. I was like, oh, my gosh, it's true. We gave Baton Rouge supermajorities, a conservative governor. They give us a Democrat seat.
Yeah, thanks for nothing.
And high insurance. Like, give me a freaking break. It's because it's not a priority. If it was a priority, if insurance was priority, and if it was representing the folks' like desires a priority, we'd be having both of those. Just like if education and roads in this state was a priority, we'd have better education and better roads. Anyway, you can't just change. Yeah, exactly. You can't just change the criteria on which you grade your students and call it a win. Just throwing that out there. Let's go to the phone line. All right, caller, you on the Josh Guillory Show. What's your name? Where are you calling from? Y'all like what I just said? Hey, Chris. What you got, Chris?
The reason that Ukraine's not part of NATO is because if they make them a member, then we would be part of the war and we would have to defend them. So that's the reason they couldn't make them a part of NATO.
That's a good point. That's a great point, Chris, because it's true. That is the whole reason why NATO was created is, hey, if Germany or whoever attack all of us. This was after World War II. So, yeah, absolutely. That's a great point. That could have had something to do with it. Yep. Because that definitely would get us in. Well,
thanks, Chris.
Thanks, Chris. Appreciate that.
We got Kill Switch. He says, what is the end game feeding Ukraine high-tech weapons? Ukraine takes over Russia. Seems it's just poking at World War III.
No, that's fair, Kill Switch. I think, that's one way to look at it. But what's the alternative? Letting it keep? No, we got to end this war. And the only way look, if Trump, this is my opinion. This is just my opinion. If Trump felt that Putin would give us peace quicker, I think he would arm him. He didn't have to. And I believe he thinks that this is the quickest way to end that war and to protect America's interests as well. And I would agree with that. I don't know the answer. I give the briefings. None of us get the briefings that the President of the United States gets every day. So I don't know the answers. But I know one thing. We couldn't continue to do what we were doing, just like with economic stuff. We as a nation could not continue on the path of foreign diplomacy that we were on, nor could we economically from an industry standpoint. I'm gonna use the left words, it was unsustainable. Okay? That's all I'm saying. That's just common sense. Just that. A little adding.
A little
bit. All right, guys, stick around. When we get back. Phone lines are gonna be open. Let's wrap this up. All right, we'll be right back. Welcome back to the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from the Beal and Bear Studios right here in Lafayette, Louisiana. All right, phone lines are open, 232-1542, 232-1542. Why are we so quiet today? Come on, I want to hear from you. Outside of Acadiana, 844-766-6607. Also, go to rumble.com. Look up the Josh Guillory Show. You can chat us on that feature. You can and definitely follow us, and you can see us. I hope we don't break. Hope I break your monitor. Jamie won't, but I hope I don't.
The good news, we're like over. Let me get the numbers. I think we're over 10,000 views.
Hey,
got 10,996 views. We're
there
almost
you
at
go.
11,000, and
there you go.
Got right about to push 200 followers. So
come on now.
Thank y'all.
Yes, this is all because of our audience. It has nothing to do with. We're very little part of it. So thank you to our lovely audience. Thank you so much.
Chat to us in there because we got to get 3 chats every month to keep our status going. So chat with us.
Come on there and chat me.
Even if you say hi, hide into our DMs.
Go into rumble.com and check us out, the Josh Guillory Show. All right, I love everything that's going on with this. I love the movement that our country's doing or experiencing from a foreign diplomacy standpoint. Man, this is a huge win for our country economically, for the EU to say, you know what, we're going to pause. Maybe there is something to this U.S. not getting screwed over by us anymore. Maybe this dude's like really serious. I don't know what president or what congressperson, Democrat or Republican, can look at that arrangement we had with those tariffs objectively and say that was okay. I don't care if you're left, right, love trees, hate trees, hug them, don't hug them. I mean,
smoke them, don't smoke them.
Yeah, whatever. This is a no-brainer. This is something that both parties should say, man, we were getting screwed. Like, getting screwed is bipartisan. Just saying. You know, and look, the White House is just doing what we sent them there to do. Bring back respect to our country. Not just in moral respect, but like literally like financial respect, militarily, bring back our industries back, all these things. But the White House isn't just accepting the first draft of some EU bureaucrat's paperwork either. There's methodical approaches here. Trump sent the message loud and clear. We're done with weak deals. Fix it or get hit. We're in it. We ain't scared. Not us Americans. Like, we don't run from that. That's not what we do. We go achieve hard things just because they're hard. I'll paraphrase another president in the 60s. All right.
Is that Johnson?
JFK, man.
JFK.
We choose to go to the moon, not because it's easy, but because it's hard.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
Italy's role here is interesting, too, in all this. So Prime Minister Meloni was the only EU leader to attend Trump's inauguration, and now her government is trying to act as a go-between. I thought that was a pretty smart move on her part.
That answers my question, too.
Yep.
She is still
Yeah, you're right. I like her. That was the one that pulled President Biden out of the woods. Or was that Germany's? No, that was her, huh? She's
like, come on there, partner.
Come
on, pal.
Hey,
this way, bud.
Ice cream's over here.
Come on.
This way. You got it. But this is high stakes poker. I mean, this is high stakes poker. Hold them or fold them. And Trump is holding the cards. The EU delayed their retaliation because they know if these tariffs go through, Europe loses billions. This is not chaos. Media, whenever Trump started going on the offensive, thank God, and got us out of the defensive position, the media wanted to call it chaos, wanted to call him unhinged. All the things that when you want to do something good for the country or do something different that the elites and their puppets aren't used to, when they lose their mind. But this isn't chaos. This is control. There's a big difference. And control for once in the benefit of the American people. not the people pushing it, not just the elites. This isn't chaos. This is control. America is back at the table. America is leading the table. And we're not begging. We're not apologizing. We're not begging. We're done with that. At least for 3 years, hopefully longer. Hopefully that is reinstilled in us as an American value. As just we as Americans carry it with us. Certain attributes, certain pride, not the bad pride, just esprit de corps, feeling good about it. But we're not begging. We're not apologizing. We're leading. And, this news, this economic news, the EU back just at least trying to negotiate, because that's a hell of a lot different than what they were saying the other day. We're going to go find some other friends. We're going to go find some other trade partners. Go. If they're out there and you haven't used them yet, then you're an idiot. Where are they? Go deal with communist China. Go deal with Russia. Go deal with all of them. They know they're nothing without us. They know that. And Trump knows that. And he's not afraid, but he's not even doing it in an arrogant way. All he's trying to do is peace around the world, America first. Just like Italy should put Italy first, and Britain should put Britain first, and Canada should put Canada first, okay? That's all he's trying to do. I know you, my dear audience, our wonderful audience, knows all of this. I mean, I'm preaching to the choir, Jamie. All right, guys, stick around. Hour number 2, we're going to switch it up a little bit. I can't wait, Jamie. Don't go anywhere. It's going to be great. got some new done. What do about Guillory show? I'm your favorite girls. With me still. Me.
Brian, fuck me like her.
And we're live from the Katie and local town players. Any questions? Give them a call. Let's see. Social on which others he was considering. Boy, that is posted online on social media. We got some good comments. Yeah, I know some call. I've learned earlier about the list. If you need my a lot of comments. Appreciate that. Man, you can take out all stuff. And just something definitely changed. I think it always is a struggle that was needlessly. I don't know.
Sometimes it's a little rough.
All right, let's go. All right, so let's let it hold gears here. Let's talk President Trump. I'm telling you guys, this is my blood bowl. Let's talk about it. So, that come more plans you confirm beat down the staff and assassination last year and the I'll take 1 year.
Yep.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. Doing.
Actually, I was even asked, and I was yesterday. There was this sweet lady that we met. To me, text shot him or shot him. They just knows it all. Just crazy. So grateful he turned. I'll tell you, man, certain deployments that would just nothing different. You can actually do something. Talk, just do something. Thing Iran and Israel. He did. That you have will hit the face.
That hits him. We don't have 300. Arrested. California. Oh, it's gonna grow up.
Trump. We all right, so let's go back to this. All right, so Trump asked last year, but so 6 deal. All right, he said the U.S. had advanced warning and still failed to prevent that. We right over like Rico. No longer speculation. I thought it was no big idea. It was Billions. And trust. The grass says that the Secret Service see in the before you actionable tips. People calling stuff all the time. After that, sorry. That's a former president of the United States who is a president candidate for election with service protection. You think double? No. Democrats and Rhinos do not care about infrastructure or public safety. We have to any of that. Anywho, that drives me crazy. No. So again, gay. At least a rally on attention. These actions just went out there and la. These are they failed to pass. Shocker! The federal government held on what shock? Wow! Failed to information to their fellow law enforcement agencies assigned to couldn't have you didn't have only your internal control measures like that automatic, like things like that, or you're just ultimately I don't know. They're that or they just you tell me. But no, and here's the problem. So let's report this. So it may be the latter. That no formal process exists to share that. I am tired of living. We had to put the Patriot. We have all these different agencies. We have why? Because they just look at each other. Well, no, they don't look at each other. They had no clue what they're doing. We gave them that. You gave them that.
I think on the inside, I don't like no. If the other American, they don't share. Not share. There should be being all. Talking about you keep your oh yeah, somebody got me.
These are constitutional backgrounds. They do a contract with rejected numbers like that. The Constitution says that we should have the word is needed. So normal practice. But I thought the government in 2001, 2002, we grew government because we were. I heard this before. The formal process is to show that in 2000. Security, homeless security. Why did grow? For government more easily. Because the no process to type of
lying
first.
Just saying, like, so no process. We'll find out something. What? Here. I bet. So we never sell. We got actual peer. That's being used by we'll be right back.
the Josh Guillory Show, broadcasting live from Bears. Dude, we're in a Acadiana, a Bear, your hometown Bear. Those guys are bust. Whoa, Martha Jean. She's been at the bit to get on the microphone. I'm not getting on the microphone.
Nope, not unless she puts her teeth in. Or told her.
So let's go back to this kind of, but not talking. It's the federal government. Not so apparently the U.S. Secret Service gets an action that 10 days prior to the assassination of President Trump in Butler, Pennsylvania, days. Doesn't call anybody, let their fellow federal agencies. No. Why? So a suspicious person was spotted before the event. He had a range equipped weapon. That was the shooter. Remember all that? 10 days to actionable steps. Trump team had a multiple specific rules ahead of the rally, including counter-snippers. That would be very helpful. Now, the company that added that did phenomenal action. Okay, could he have prevented? Well, I mean, you got it. 10 days. Not the 10 minutes. 10 days. Trump team request extra assets for Secret Service, more Secret Service details. We remember that getting denied several times. They get intelligence briefs too. They do threat assessments themselves. When they run the threat assessments up the chain of command, and that gets just plus actionable tips 10 days or a week before. This problem, by the way, were either denied or ignored.
Like what?
Yeah, I mean, I don't understand denial, but at least they responded. Just ignored. That's like and former president at the time, former president of the United States, current nominee for not officially, but he was a nominee for president of the United States. Like, come on, cite a target. And it's brand new. We knew that. It was the first time securing a large outdoor. All right, there's always a first. So that in itself, I got it, but there are some cities with that. Their superiors probably should have. We'll start off with let's act on actionable. This is all report. Okay, there. Oh yeah, not a little. Yeah. Got a little hot and all.
Yeah.
I remember scoring.
Usually it.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey. The mosquito told last year there were no problems in the West. They said, and now proven things about the church. I'm going to hit lie. They're getting lie. Democrat, not a Democrat. I'm the national they don't care. So he said bluntly, I tell you, he said these 45 and now for the party. I hear myself in meter. This isn't democratic. think this was more cowards. Highest level of that's what we witnessed. That's what that was. You literally had you literally lied to us about nothing. And some of things, like I said, they're all benefit them. I just before the show, isn't it? I mean, that's random, or that's a random. Man, they did ask for a point. No,
it'd be rare for an outer event.
No, not an overreaction. That's an and summer of 2020. The third thing, the team intelligence is very for general. Way more people. And we're a bit, but the FBI server. President of the United States. State of Security. Imagine the head of service probably knew about that question. And no one there can look and say, this is preventable. And we know now. You can sneak in from another state. He didn't wear a cloak, that's sure. He's seen a couple times. He's even he has good range finding equipment. Not available. And service still has to walk stage.
You know what they do? So
sure, you have to go there and first.
I mean, yeah. She got the first lady.
Yeah. And you could serve 8 when I doesn't believe. And then
involved in change.
Okay, you just want to the chair.
She provides like detail.
So there was no process to do so. We all gone. We at all time. Next thing that followed me grow. That's
you share.
Literally. All right, guys. Tell me why. Well, that's Guillory live from the Billy Bear. Just right here in the capital of the world, live from Indiana. All right, you get that, or just see. Sure. Anyway, well, guys, let's let you on the phone line are open. 250-42. Of course, it's 666 area. Let's go. Again, so I'm just running you. Scott, what you got? Call him.
Anyway, that's a 3 people, but people who will not believe it can happen. Okay, so people, that'll never happen.
Yeah.
Wait, don't show me. We got people blind. Not the doing to veterans, but those having more impression. It happens. Those are a lot of blind, but probably a lot of them. Sure, or wanted, but they would take these kind of old information before, and there are people happy suppress information. I think that's who thinks that you. I think I first hit that woman jail. And you can send back presentation. I should be a bit of issue.
He must have a little, or if he did. I mean,
absolutely.
I appreciate that so much. Yeah, that's you know, and a large part of it. Part of it, and there are plenty of folks in the government. Plenty of good folks that they resist more. There was enough bad. It's the volunteer. Let's hear on the discussion.
Yeah, this is Ryan.
Hey, Ryan.
Hey, you know, I mean, that's all other stuff. Epstein. I got
that. And I you can tell in this, but you can say oh, it's interesting.
What's up?
Good afternoon to me.
Oh, thank you, thank you.
But you know, in rain, how to supposedly shot and get up and off the crowd. I don't think it should be between us and the songs here.
Well, I mean, in his ears on the we know now where years ago I was thinking, but now there are people that legitimately it's fair to have your system grow with that. I wouldn't. It would shock me. That's the case, though. I've seen so many times. Hands up, well, hey, great calls always. Let's see here. Who we? What you got? One.
How about seriously? Talking to the United States government. My sign names in it. I say, you still happen. I would be black for not kill the supervisor. You know, he executed all The say killed president before around the world, and their history, they will all be they call them the CIA, the communist and the service, but be the nation service, and they'll be the better ridiculous. Somebody swang.
Oh.
The line. And what's up, Keith?
Hey, he started with intentionally, almost not. She was killed. She had and I was going to check up. And he one of those bullshit ever were anywhere in done. Again,
within that, we can bring it, baby.
You know where there's somebody on the same fuck all there's somebody funeral doing that and it's so and you know it you covered their all behavior and they for much of us needed and shit maybe a few more years that's why that's I'll just come in junk.
What else?
I think I have news.
What problem?
Kids want to Disneyland. Whatever they. Hope you have fun. Family, other families are being torn apart.
Oh my
like,
jeez. Anyway.
Hey guys, on my chat. Boomer says, "My God, you about to raise your thing talking about Steam." Trump says, "Remember, I always like this." It's that's quite out. The government.
Hey, the no people I don't get the awesome.
Joey and you says something intentional.
Oh yeah. You
the only place in got I think one.
What that word more time is Vision Cruise at normal because he was acting like Konami. So it could have been at that earlier. That was the but it wasn't that the first or one of the first around. You know, they don't usually go around. I see 24 hours over candidates as much as something for Trump just because it was folks
road on.
She's
left. She moved on.
She's in her back or
try ring her.
So,
do you think Trump can and should revoke her?
I think if he had that authority, shouldn't have
Exactly. Even things Rick women. Why are you talking about?
I'm just answering the questions you gave.
Yeah. Like,
I'm bored.
Alone.
You got her happen with a sin. That's the relative. Back to the Guillory show. If you're looking at Rumble, you're stretching. Oh, you caught him in hot play that one. This is busy U.S. Center. So during the Doge cut, I like to know. I'm not a bitching. $4 if
already spent the bill. Come on.
Well, we know actually. Let's say it. I did it. I can't explain my national debt. And what is goal? This has been this responsibility thing. Like we, you know, it's just imagine this. So the his representatives pressure for decisions package of this week. That is the Doge bill that's aimed to gut what's will spend there. But the highlight of these cuts include and U.S. aid and funds. I'll say because now the House 42-12. I think Congressman Fields voted. Back to now that's it. This is just at 9.4 billion out of this 4 trillion debt, a trillion.
Very important. Included in 9 billion.
That's what
y'all calm down.
Wait, entities have to do. Raise the funds.
Or if the state do it, let them do it.
Yeah.
That's for listen. For they can get news. I want to know a single person. I tell you, I don't know person gets their or well, some PR. Real estate normal.
Even everybody go ask you.
What station you not catch, but you can catch NPR and PS and what station are you catching the news, but you can only catch PBS?
It's a horrible argument, isn't it?
That's
a argument, man. That's a terrible argument.
I don't think here does news.
Let's go over a few facts. Again, President Trump got it. He was able to Friday, by the way. 4 Republicans in the House already voted against it last month. Rhinos like Susan Collins, man, she's jumping off the deep end on some stuff. She's trying to cuts for public broadcasting. Is she a Republican?
Yeah. No.
Government, like you always look at you. State from me on that. It's not 1918. No, it's the news and only the government. It's like it's where the government come. It's 25. That any fucking against the I would ask not bad. You keep $9 billion.
Not enough. It's talking about.
Yeah. I mean, they're working with the talk about this on relations. Tim. Yeah, it's crazy. This is what the man would do. I'm a little disappointed, but I believe this. I was how many times they have $1 billion?
We win billions. It's awesome. We're gonna go.
Yeah, that's probably why. That's probably why. You know, $9 billion in this budget, and we got Republicans like Sue Collins on the NPR, PBS. Let me state on social media. You want to die? I don't know.
It's fun to Tim and
it's like tell I know him all the time. Thank you, sir, for tuning in. Be careful. God bless you. Be kind.